is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! Today's video is Cottage Wreaths. Now, Cottage Wreaths is in the MIDI catalog here. It's on page 58. It's kind of a multi-season stamp set. You've got a Christmas, you got a Thanksgiving, you got a Halloween, which I missed. And then it comes with, like, the suite comes with this gingham paper, which I really love, but just, you know, not for Christmas. And we're going to do a Christmas card. I'm going to take you all the way through. And it also comes with the pearlized enamel effects, which we're going to use. I didn't get the twine. I didn't like it. So, but let me show you what we've got here. Here's the dies. And if you notice, I have them on my magnets, which is awesome because, you know, these are great. And I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you go to the description of my video, you will find the link for the magnets, also the paper envelopes here, and also the big paper folders as well. So anyway, what you've got here is 22 dies. That's right, 22 dies. And this was kind of an interesting thing because when I started doing the dies, I noticed something kind of interesting. And it's like, here's all the dies, and I cut them out. And if you notice, one thing I noticed was none of them layer. They don't layer. Like, I figured for sure, like, this would go on here or something, but no, not one of them layers. All they do is you cut out the dies, and they either are their own thing, like these are their own thing right up here. So these are just on their own. So these leaves here, the bow, and these two wreaths here. And the rest of them, you stamp and die cut. So everything else, stamp and die cuts. Also, there's lots of duplicates. So these two is on one die, and there are two of them, and they're exactly the same. Okay, and then you've got the three here, and these are exactly the same. They're right here. Also, you've got these little itty bitty tiny ones for the holly berries, and they are exactly the same. There are two of them, but unlike all the rest of them, this is the only one there's only one berry stamp. I know, weird. So, and then, but the rest of them stamp out, and the stamps are kind of, they're not a solid stamp. They're kind of the ones with the, you know, the lines in them. So if you're changing colors, just make sure that you clean off your stamp really good because you could transfer a lot of that on there. But yeah, and since the paper that comes with it is the gingham paper, none of the dies cut the DS paper. Now, I bought the DS paper because I thought it was really cool, but I am not using it for this. I don't think I would use it for Christmas. I just like the paper. So I've been using it, but not for this project. In fact, what we're going to use today is this paper here. And this one is the Painted Christmas, because I thought it went with it much better. So you got the holly leaves here, and this, I mean, it's just really beautiful paper. So we're going to be using this instead. So that's how they die cut. And then if you look how they stamp, I went ahead and I stamped all the wreaths here. And I used, whoopsie, I used different colors like Mossy Meadow, Shaded Spruce, Evening Evergreen, Garden Green. Actually, these two are reversed. So this is actually Garden Green down here. So this is interesting. And then here's how all of them stamp. And they're nice, they're fine, but you can see here's Christmas, here's Thanksgiving, here's Halloween, here's hello if you just want to make it a very generic one. So this will really take you through a lot of seasons and beyond. So let's go ahead and make our card. Here's the card we're going to make, and it's really simple. I do a couple of little tricky things, you know, don't go away. I know it looks real basic, but it's like there's a couple of things I throw at you. So inside, I just layered up Garden Green and Real Red. I got a piece of basic white. All the dimensions for the card are in the description of the video, so just go to the video description to get that. So I've got some Real Red. I'm going to put those berry leaves, and I've got Garden Green, and I'm just going to put the holly leaves. If you notice, I am stamping this first before I put it in my card. And there's a reason, because if I mess it up, I'm not having to pull it off my card base here. So it's a good idea to always do what I did. So now let's get to the front. So this is a 5.5 by 4.25, real basic. I took the Painted Christmas, and this is 4 by 5.25, and just lay it on the middle just like that. Now, I told you I did a couple of little tricks, and here's the first one. This wreath is actually put on foam adhesive sheets, and it just, instead of like the tags here in dimensionals, but this is the sheet, and it just looks so much better. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And these sheets are like 4.25 by 5.5 or by 4.5. So I've got a piece of basic white already measured for it. Make sure that you got it going the right way instead of this way. And then take off one of the sides here, and you're going to match this up. So make sure you got the right size here first, because I did that on the first one. It's like, darn it, I rotated it. So anyway, so put that on like that. Now we're going to grab this stamp right here in our garden green. So we've got our sheet of paper on that foam adhesive sheet, and we're going to put a whole bunch of ink on here, give it a little space for the die, and stamp it out real nice and tight like that. Now the Merry Christmas here, I just put on dimensionals. Now we could do on the adhesive sheet, but I'm just going to do it on dimensionals. So I'm going to go ahead and take real red and stamp it on like so. Now you're going to grab this die. There are two dies. One's for the skinny wreath and one's for the thick one. So this is for the thick one and the other's for the thin one like that. And all you're going to do is take it and line it up on your print. Now you're going to have to tape it down, and I always like to use my delicate frog tape, and because you can use it over and over and over and over and over again. It's cheap. It comes in this big roll like this. I have an Amazon link in the description of my video, and even if you click on one of my Amazon links and buy nothing, it actually helps out my small business and helps me get a little kickback from Amazon. But if you do buy it, I do get a commission on it. It's awesome. It's something I use. I don't put anything on my links that I don't use. But I'm going to line this up, and it might take you a minute to, you know, figure out where it's lined up here. Just kind of keep turning it until you've got the right spot. And then we're going to take the tape and tape it down, and it will cut it out without ripping the paper. So I finally have it lined up. I'm going to stick my frog tape, my delicate frog tape, it's the yellow stuff, on the die here, and I'm going to go cut it up. So it's going to look like this. Now the middle is going to pop out, and you could actually use this for something later on if you want to hold on to it. Just, you know that's the paper side. And then just pop this out like so. And then if you look at my frog tape, it just comes right off. And this is great. It's better than like washi tape. I've actually had a piece of washi tape wrap around my brother's Scan and Cut drum, and it stayed there for like 6 months and finally worked itself out. But this stuff is great. Now in this set, we didn't get any sentiment tags, so I'm going to use Scallop Contours, this little one here, and just put it in the middle and tape it on. And I'm a stamper and then cut, and a lot of people cut it and then stamp. I like doing it this way. It's all a personal preference, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And that's the same piece of tape, by the way. And here's our label, so I can just pull this off. It doesn't tear my paper or anything. It comes right off, so that's really nice. And it doesn't leave a lot of glue on my die either, which is another big thing. And I can still reuse this tape. Now take your pick tool and take out all the little holes on the sentiment there, and then grab your card, and we're going to kind of line up where we want everything. But actually before that, we're gonna go ahead and put on all the little berries here. Now, we're going to be using the Pearlized Enamel Effects, and before if you're not familiar with it, you might want to do some test runs. Now, you can also do something really cool. You can take glue dots here and put your dot on top of the glue dot. Whoops, see how I made that mistake? If you do it on top of the glue dot, then you're not doing it on your project. The only thing is you have to wait for these to dry, and then you can pick them off with take your pick tool and put them on there. But if you don't have time for it to dry, like we don't, we're just going to make sure all the air's out of the tip, because that's your biggest problem. So it air's out of the tip. And then I'm going to go ahead and put 3 little berries here. Now we're just gonna see where we're gonna put everything. So I know I want it there, and let's put some dimensionals on the back of the tag. So my dimensionals are on the back, and I'm gonna put it right here. Now I'm gonna take off the backing to the foam adhesive sheets without touching those berries. Don't touch the berries. And the reason why I didn't put it on first and then the berries is if I messed it up and I had to do it over for whatever reason. And I didn't want to do that. So there's that. Now you're also going to take your bow and real red and cut out the bow. Now you can take a glue dot, or I like to use these little paper pumpkin things. If you have a paper pumpkin subscription, these are awesome because they're not as thick as a glue dot, so they're a lot thinner and they hold real nice. So I'm gonna put my bow here in the middle, and then to bling it up, I'm gonna use my adhesive back seasonal sequence. Say that 3 times fast. And I'm going to take a green one and I'm gonna put it in the middle. And then I'm going to grab a red one and put it on top. And that's the card. That's all you have to do. So that will do it for me. Thanks. Bye.